Curt Cruz. How's Florida?
Florida is Florida. I'll share more with you here momentarily. It is Curt and Jen in the morning, our podcast. Thanks for checking us out again. And I have to say thank you, Jen, and to Pat, your boyfriend, for filling in for the last couple of days while we were doing our Florida things with the family and everything. The show sounded great, as always, when Pat's in here.
Well, I mean, I need to be more technically savvy like you are when it comes to audio, because I'll tell you what, it was a little janky with me holding up my phone playing music, but you know what? It works. We do
Jinky's
what
not
we
so
need to
bad
do.
sometimes. We'll tell you a little bit more about Florida, but first, how about what's coming up on the show today? Do you have on here, it's National Pie Day, by the way. We can't overlook that it's National Pie Day.
Right. Well, here's the thing that confused me about National Pie Day. I thought that National Pie Day was on, is it 3/11 in March?
I don't pay that much attention to pies.
That's pie, right? 3/11? I think so. Or
Well, 314, 3.14.
okay, well, I already have it wrong. I'm not a math girl. I'm bad at mathing. Anyway,
okay.
that's what I thought Pie Day was. So apparently there's two Pie Days. So I'm open to it. I'll celebrate both Pie Days. Pie's delicious. I just need ice cream with it.
Pie is delicious. On the show today, top wedding trends of 2025. We also have the worst rated food in the world. That's foods, we should say. There's several. You're going to enjoy that, and you're not going to want to try any of them, I bet.
I can't even believe what's on that list. I had no idea that people actually ate this kind of stuff. Post Malone has a new cookie coming out, which I might actually try.
Right.
Something that you can do to boost your kids' self-esteem.
Also about pizza. When was the last time that you ordered something different as far as your pizza order goes? Same time, same thing every time? And finally, your parenting hacks and life hacks. That was from yesterday's show. That was the question of the day, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. I have to tell you that I learned something new last night from my daughter, Macy.
All right.
She's like, Mom, if the grades don't touch, neither do the people. And I'm like, what? Have you heard that before?
So I just want to, did I hear that right? She said, if the grades don't touch, neither do the people?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means we were talking about this boy that she thought liked her at some point, who is a senior and she's a sophomore. And I'm like, well, he seemed like a nice guy though. And she's like, Mom, if the grades don't touch, neither do the people. And I'm
I see. So if you're a freshman, you can date sophomores or other freshmen, but that's it.
Right.
Because
If you're a
freshmen touches
sophomore, you
sophomore,
can date
sophomore.
freshmen, sophomores, or juniors, but not seniors.
Well, that sounds actually kind of responsible. I don't know. Do you want her dating a senior when she's a freshman?
Oh, no, but I thought that was funny. I just wanted to bring that up. Now tell me about your trip.
That could, all right. Well, how about this last night? I promise this won't be TMI, and you'll be thankful for that. We went out because, we have some great seafood in the Pacific Northwest, but they have different great seafood in Florida, right?
I mean,
More Atlantic and Gulf Coast stuff. So I don't know if I just wasn't prepared for this. We went out for dinner, myself and my brother-in-law and sister, Mike and Terry, and of course, Dana, my wife is here. And it was if you did an order, I think of $50 or more at this place, they gave you some of their delicious free hot cheese and crab dip. It's not free for everybody, but if you had $50 or more, we had a coupon.
Yummy, Curt.
Hot cheese and crab dip. It was very tasty. A little bit heavy on the bell peppers, but otherwise, I think it was very tasty. But my body, it turns out, several hours later, not so much.
No, too much.
And I don't want to point. I'm not naming the restaurants. I'm not 100% sure about where it came from. But yeah, we all have that. You're like, go to bed 2:30. You're like, uh-oh. And then you're going back through your day, like, what did I eat that caused this? So anyway, there's my intestinal distress story.
Cheese, that's what you ate.
It might have been. Maybe the free version is they're like, this is about 5 days old. Just go ahead and give it to them.
Do you eat it with chips or with bread?
It was with chips. Bread would have been better, but it was very tasty. And sometimes you have to pay for a tasty meal in addition to the monetary amount. So
yeah,
it wasn't worth it.
What was the deal with, I see something about Bentleys and something.
And Ferraris. Yeah. It's a lot of wealthy retirees down here. We're in Naples, Florida, which is pretty hoity-toity.
We talked to Curt. Curt, we talked about Naples, Florida yesterday. That's the capital of the world for pickleball.
Oh, I had no idea. Well, where are my pickleball partners? In Seattle?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well,
Okay.
you guys need to go play pickleball.
Maybe we will. Thank you for that. We could go, but we have to use rented rackets. I don't know if I can do that,
Paddles.
but
Yes.
uh, just an awful lot of really wealthy people cars, uh, just driving around. I've seen a number of Bentley. I don't see Bentleys in Seattle, I mean, maybe that's not an unusual, but for some reason, I don't see the Bentley vehicles there. And a couple Ferraris. The thing is, they're all being driven by, like, 75-year-old people with the right turn signal on the entire way.
They're being
That is
they're
true.
being driven by rich people.
Yeah, but they're older too. You see a Ferrari and the P and Dub, and it's, I don't care how old you are, but down here they're old enough that I thought it was unusual to be tailing a Ferrari with its turn signal on for 4 miles. It's
Oh
like, you
my
ever going to
God, that would
turn?
annoy me. That would
Yeah.
annoy
So
me
that
for
was that
sure.
was the Florida experience from yesterday, which is a fine experience. At least it didn't give me intestinal distress.
I have two more things to tell you because I got a little worried at one point. I
What's
got a
that?
package yesterday in the mail. It was in this yellow plastic envelope. And I'm like, okay, well, let me open this up and see what it is. So then I'm like, okay, it's a rubber stamp. Like, who even uses these?
What is it? What is
And
it
then I'm
stamp?
like,
What is
what
it?
is it? Okay, so it's like this wooden stamp, like rubber stamp, the
Well,
old.
yeah, I know what a rubber stamp is. I was
Well,
just
I'm
asking, what does it
telling people,
say?
for people that can't see it, Curt Cruz.
Oh, sorry.
Then it says Walmart store number 01-4848 in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's what's on the stamp, the store address. And I'm like, what in the actual F? What is going on? I'm like, is this like lace? Like, is this a trick? Is this one of those things? Because I'm like, who's it from? Oh, it's from Rubber Stamps Unlimited. I'm like, of course I'm going to go to that website. But wait a second. Maybe this is like some kind of scam. And if I go to this website, like, I'm thinking all the worst things. Maybe it's like laced with something bad. I don't even
Mhm.
know. But
You
it
know what
looks
happens?
like
They
they just
mistakenly
put
sent it to you.
the wrong. I mean, but how random is that?
Well, here's something that I kept from you because, for obvious reasons, because we got a package delivered 2 weeks ago, and I had to hide it because I knew when you came over to the house, your eyes would get all big and everything. I got a big old box from Amazon, and the poor mail carrier, it came through USPS, and she was struggling with it. And she's like, "Did you guys just have a baby?" And I'm like, "No." Oh, and because it was a crib. It
I
was a
would have
box with
freaked out for sure.
I know. That's why I had to. It was the next day. I was like, I got to put this away from the front door because Jen is going to freak out. So no, that's not happening or in the plans. But now we've got this giant crib at our house, which of course we'll just send back. But
That
I
is
thought the
so
same thing
funny.
too.
You hid it from me.
I was like, what? This is an awesome joke if it is, but it's probably kind of expensive. They're like $120 or whatever. But
I think they
so
might be
yes,
more
I
than
actually
that.
had that happen as well. I apologize for that. Was kind of a lie of omission. I just didn't want to deal with you freaking out.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I would have freaked out. I would have saw that. I wouldn't even been able to be quiet when I walked in your house if I saw a crib. That's
Let's hear about your
hilarious.
trip to the doctor.
Oh, you know what? Real quick, I went to the doctor yesterday. It was a new place. It was I don't even know if I want to mention it. Well, I'll just say it, Optum in Everett,
Okay.
to go see this throat doctor because I'm trying to figure out this cough that I have. And
Right.
I get there and I need to pick up Macy at 1:45 and my appointment's at 12:30. And they were very specific. They're like, this is a 20-minute appointment. I'm like, okay, even if they're running like 15 minutes late, that still gives me enough time to pick up Macy. I get there and there's two people or two couples in the lobby complaining about how long they've been sitting there. They're like, they're over 30 minutes late. And one other's like, I have another appointment up in gastro right now. And I was supposed to see you first. And it was like all this hubbub. And then the woman finally says, well, we double book our appointments. We that's what we do. And I'm like, that is so disrespectful of our time. And then one
Hmm.
guy, when it was finally his turn to go in, he's like, why do you double book appointments? And as they're going through the door, I heard her say, there's just so many people that need to see the doctor. That's what we have to do. What?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Maybe hire more doctors.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I think the assumption is that somebody's not going to show up. One person's not going to show up. I have a similar story from when I worked in high school at Olin Mills Photo Studio. Did you
Oh,
ever in there? Yeah, I was, I was a photographer at the high school newspaper and everything, and I got a job as photographer. They would triple book at the same time because they would send out back then they would call people say, hey, you can have a great photo sitting for just whatever dollars, and okay, but usually people wouldn't show up, so
oh my
they book
God.
two or three at once. But every now and again, all three would show up. So here I am trying to get the baby to smile, squeaky squeaky or whatever. And they said, you should be able to get that shooting done in 5 minutes. It's like, I can't get them even sitting down in 5 minutes. But yeah, so
I am
the
learning so
doctor should
much
not be
about
doing that.
Cruise today. You are an Olin Mills photographer and you have a baby crib sitting at your house right now. So
Those are totally unrelated, but let's move on. How's that sound?
great.
All right, we found out that I didn't know that this wasn't already a thing for airlines, gang.
I want to call it this. I want to call these quick little info nuggets. We did it yesterday too.
Okay.
Nuggets of info.
Well, what about our long little info nuggets?
Well, those are different. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do your quick thing.
This is from JetBlue, the airlines. They now, by the way, when you fly JetBlue, you can use Venmo to book flights. I'm surprised this wasn't already a thing, but apparently that makes Venmo the first carrier to accept purchases through Venmo. You've got the option to pay for flights with Venmo on JetBlue's website that will roll out and on their mobile app coming up here in a couple of months.
So the first airline that you can pay with, like, what do you call something like Venmo and Zelle, like electronic payment, I guess. Yeah.
Right. The exciting news is now you can purchase flights using Venmo. The downer is that you're going to be flying on JetBlue. But
Oh, wow.
sorry, was that mean?
That's terrible. Yes.
What's
Okay.
another little nugget of info for you?
There's a caffeine calculator that helps you determine your safe and lethal doses of caffeine. In case you were wondering, I had no idea this existed. I just wanted to bring it up because I think a lot of us in the PMW drink caffeine. We drink our coffee, and now there's a caffeine calculator that can help you with determining whether you've like overdone it or not.
I did not know that there was such a thing as a lethal dose of caffeine.
Me either, but I think you follow your heart. Like if your heart's beating out of your chest, maybe you had too much caffeine.
That's what they're saying. Okay. All right. That is good to know. I guess I should go there and find out what my parameters are for drinking coffee. Now, you also found, Jen.
My another little nugget of info is there is a right way to crack an egg. That is for real. According to America's Test Kitchen, cracking the egg on the side of a bowl or the counter can result in shards of eggshell getting into the raw part of the egg. To avoid this,
hasn't that happened to everybody? You go to crack the egg and a little eggshell gets in there and you got to go fish it out.
Well, yeah, but what they're saying, and that's probably because you cracked it on the side of the counter or the bowl. What you're supposed to do is crack, and I've heard this before. You crack it on a flat surface, like the flat surface of the counter. You pull the two pieces of the egg apart, just pull it apart with your fingers and let it go into the bowl, and you should be shell free.
If you crack the egg on the counter, egg is going to get on the counter.
Curt, I'm just telling you what the test kitchen said. I will try it and I will let you know. I try to have eggs every day. I love them so much.
I wasn't trying to deny it. I'm just thinking, I'm just going to make a mess that way. So we're on food now, right?
Well, yeah, we're sticking with we just talked about eggs. Now we're going to talk about pizza.
The average American, I love when the stories start with the average American. So your average person has not changed their pizza order in 2 years. What surprises me about that, we'll get into that in a second, but yeah, they did a poll on pizza. The average American hasn't changed their pizza order in 2 years, and about 14% of people have been eating the exact same pizza for over 5 years. That's where I don't know the last time that I went to get pizza and I got something different. You know what you like?
Haven't?
I mean, I'm pretty simple. It's like, actually, you know what? I need to take a step back here because I've recently gotten more into the margarita pizzas.
Margarita.
But typically it's like, okay, pepperoni mushroom, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I would say, I mean, I have my orders at the different places. Occasionally I'll try a different topping on it, but usually I'm pretty much the same too. Like you find what you like on pizzas and you kind of stick with it.
Sometimes you go to restaurants that this is our trademark pizza. This is what we're known for. It's like, okay, I'll give that a shot, depending on how bizarre it is.
Yeah.
But a little over half of Americans say that they're open to trying new pizza combinations, but don't know where to start. How about start with things that you like to eat?
Well, yeah. And when one easy tweak is to add something a little spicy, because half the people say that that makes pizzas taste better. A little bit of pepper or spicy
Oh,
or dressing or dipping sauce or red pepper flakes. Spiced it up, people.
has anybody ever actually had pizza with anchovies on it? Have you?
No, I have
Right.
not. I don't
I
even
mean,
eat
that was,
Caesar
growing
salads.
up, it was like, it seemed like a pretty common offering. It's like, hey, would you like some
No,
anchovies? Like, no,
I don't
no,
even
that
eat
never.
anchovies on my Caesar salad. Barfarama.
All right. Good find here on this. I'm looking
I
forward to hearing more about
know.
this deal.
When Harry Met Sally, I mean, I love that movie. This year
Right.
marks the 36th anniversary of that movie. And it
Which
stars
makes me feel old, but okay.
Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, and they are reunited, and it feels so good.
That just made you feel old. Okay. Singing Peaches and Herb. I even knew who that was. So yeah, they posted a photo, Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal. They were sitting on a couch together wearing clothing similar to their outfits in the movie, although we don't know if that was just what they wear every day. And Meg said, quote, "It's finally happening. We're reuniting for something iconic. Can't wait to show you all soon."
And just this is a little fun tidbit.
Yeah,
This was Billy Crystal's first Instagram post ever.
that seems a little
We
bizarre.
don't know we don't know. We have no idea what we're waiting for, but I'm here for it and I can't wait.
I think that'd be fun. That's one that you could do another. I don't know. Because right away I'm going to. They're going to do a similar movie with the same type of roles, but that's probably wrong.
I don't know what's going
You
to
let me
happen.
know
I
when you
want
find out more about that because I'm excited too.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, should we just bring this up? Because I don't know if you put this in here, Curt. The Academy Awards for 2025, the nominees are being announced as we're recording this, so we couldn't really bring it to you. So if you're super excited to find out who the nominees are, you can go to any news site and look them up.
Okay.
But I just wanted to recognize that those are out today. They've been long awaited. They were postponed because of the LA fires, and now they're announcing them.
All right. There we go. Jeez.
We're becoming secretive, increasingly secretive at work.
Which, when I first read this headline, I was like, ooh, trade secrets and stuff. But it turns out, and this
No.
might be just people in general these days a little bit more.
Well, yeah,
Starts off by, what's that?
we used to be an open book at work. I mean, I would like you're there with these people at least 8 hours a day, and so you're
Right.
talking and you're sharing about your life and a little bit about yourself. And now they're reporting that people at work are saying, you know what? Nope, I go to work and I do my thing and I keep to myself.
This is a report from Fortune magazine. About 6 in 10 workers worldwide say that they hide aspects of themselves at work, which is up from 55% last year. So already it was about half of people like, nah, maybe not. But you go back further, things are more hidden in North America, where 70% of workers say they're secretive about themselves in the job. Now, there's things that we don't share with pretty much anybody. I understand that. But yeah, it used to be at work, when you had say you had a baby crib delivered because you were going to have a baby, you told people about that.
Yeah. Well, they're not,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that that's hard to hide at some point that you're having a baby, but I think that the companies are hoping that you're bringing your authentic self and sharing, because that's bonding, and bonding creates, a good working culture and everyone can thrive. But
Yeah.
the thing is like political and social views create conflict. And so people are just saying, I'm avoiding it. I'm just going to do my work, keep to myself and go home, and the end.
That does seem to be more true now than in the past. I mean, it used to be, I felt like politics has never been a good thing to talk about because it's,
Yeah.
well, you're getting into uncharted territory there with that. But now in particular, it seems like the division is so much more that's a really bad thing to talk about.
Yeah. I can't
Is that
wait to
it?
talk about, yeah, that's it. I can't
All
wait to
right.
talk about cookies. Cookie,
And Post
cookie,
Malone.
cookie. That's good enough for me. Post Malone limited edition Oreos. They're going to be hitting the shelves soon. Teamed up with Oreos and created his very own cookie. And it features, for the first time ever, twisted cream center. Taste the twist is how.
Taste? Taste? They're calling it a taste twist, the cream center?
Well, because the cream is a salted caramel and shortbread. So
All right, I'm in now.
it's sandwiched between the typical chocolate cookie on one side and a golden cookie on the other, with this caramel and shortbread filling in the middle. And each cookie, there's going to be 9 different ones. They're embossed with designs that include nods to his music, like a sunflower, a knight, a saw blade, a pickup truck, a butterfly.
Now that sounds like you're just listing off his tattoos, because he has most of those tattoos on his face.
Right.
Is
Well,
there going to be a cookie that has always tired written on it?
I don't know the answer to that. I want to give you Post's quote. He says, I really wanted to create a flavor that shows off my different sides. That was important to me. We tried like 50 different combinations. I've been really into salted caramel lately, so I knew that had to be part of it. The shortbread balanced out the flavor and made the perfect twist. The twist is by far my favorite part. When I couldn't decide between classic chocolate and the golden cookie, we said, why not do both? It was a fun day at work, he said.
If you want to check out Post's version of Oreos, they're available for pre-sale at Oreo.com, and they'll be hitting store shelves coming very shortly, February 3rd for your Post Malone Oreos, right?
Oreo.com, they're on pre-sale starting on Monday, so you got to wait for Monday to get them.
Okay.
I would taste them. Would you taste them? I would taste that.
Yeah. If they were Post Malone flavored, I would not taste them.
Well,
Hey, tastes just like Post. Wedding trends. And Jen loves herself a good wedding. So there are trends that come and go with weddings, as you know. There's a new wedding trend. Actually, what they did was they went down here and they said, look out for these wedding trends this year. For 2025, this is what's going on with weddings, right?
I can't even believe the first thing on the list right now, but I get it.
Okay. This is, and I will, before we say what it is, it's like, this is a person at the wedding that's supposed to capture real-time, authentic, highly engaging social media style content. And this is usually a person hired in addition to photographers, videographers, and stuff. This is going to be your wedding content creator.
Unreal. Aren't the people at your wedding content creators like I don't know. That's funny to me.
I know this is a little bit of a dated idea, but they used to, some weddings, they would pass out disposable cameras at each table, and you would take pictures of everybody, and at the end of the wedding or the reception, you just leave them behind, and there's your content. So one of the trends to look out for this year, or if you're getting married, maybe to think about, is having a wedding content creator. But there are more trends.
There are, like, small wedding parties, just a few bridesmaids and groomsmen, not 20. You know, that was the big trend, is having like just a crap ton of people on both sides of the bride and groom representing them. I'm like, whoa, that is a lot of people.
I think this is funny too. Film style photography. So this is going back to what I was saying, I guess, a little bit about the disposable cameras, photos that look like they were shot with an old school camera. And you know what the funny thing about that is for decades we're like, man, these photos look like crap. I wish there was a way to make them look better. And now, of course, we do have them, digital cameras and whatnot. And now, like, nah, let's make it look old and crappy.
Maybe that's as a result of all the filtering that people do with their photos nowadays. I don't know.
That could be.
Some of the other ones, mismatched bridesmaids dresses. It used to be that they were all matching. Now you can do, wear whatever you want is the trend. Multiple
Evidently,
wedding dresses.
That's a
Get
good
married
one.
in the first one, change into another comfortable one for the reception. I've seen that already happening at weddings. I love
It's a
it.
trend. All right, so
But I love
last dances, you've got the first dance, so now last dances are kind of a thing. Experiential wedding weekends, so unique events or experiences for your guests to take part in before and or after your wedding.
Curt, I think you'll like this one since you're a DJ. Custom dance floors, like wrapping it with your initials or your wedding. I mean, I had no idea that this was even a thing. Your wedding logo. There's wedding logos.
Yeah, you can get you can get a gobo light and just shine it on the. You've probably seen that. They shine it on the dance floor, but I guess people are now making logos for their weddings too. It's like, congratulations, Steve and Cameron. I don't know.
The last two are drone footage, which a lot of people are doing that now, and then themed dress codes. So like, everyone dresses up as in 1920s garb for the wedding.
Right. Let's keep in mind, you're going to have to pay for now. You're going to have to pay for not the wedding planner, but the wedding content creator. You always are going to have to pay for a photographer, videographer, possibly a DJ or a band. And now this one, you're going to have to hire a drone operator to get the drone footage for you.
I'm thinking about the guests, because the guests are now having to pay for an experiential weekend, because I'm sure the couple's not picking that up. They're having to pay for a special outfit that's themed. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot. It's getting expensive. It was already expensive. Now it's real expensive.
Real expensive, exactly.
I like this one. I learned a lot here, and I'm going to keep reading more. I hope people post more comments. What's your parent hack or life hack? Because yesterday in the show, Curt, Pat and I talked about these dad hacks. One of them was one dad put a tarp on a driveway because the snow was coming. And
Oh,
then when it snowed, you just had to roll up the tarp. Well, Pat's point was like, listen, if you're here in the Pacific Northwest and it snows, we have heavy snow. So good luck rolling up that tarp.
exactly. It weighs a lot, a lot.
Anyway, just led
So
to this question.
I do like the people that showed up and represented for this one. Again, what's your parents hack or your life hack? I was thinking about that if I even had one. I think that there's a lot. I'm unable to come up with any right now, but I do like what some of these ideas we can put into play, even if you don't have kids. Although Corey was one of our favorites who said, when the boys were little, I used to put a jar or two of baby food veggies, spinach or green beans in the spaghetti sauce, and they never knew. They would just sneak them in there.
I should actually do that as an adult for ourselves. We don't get enough greens. Yeah, that's true. Sonia
Yeah,
said to reheat rice, put it in a strainer and pour hot water over it. Perfect rice. Ooh, that's a good idea.
perfect rice is tough. Jennifer said, not sure if this is a parent hack or just a good lie, when the kid was young and we were introducing a new food or something kids often don't like, and she uses examples asparagus or mushrooms, I would just insist to him that he likes it. He liked it the last time he ate it, and then he would eat it every time without a fight.
That's
I don't like
good.
this. Well, last time you ate it, you liked it. Okay.
Okay. Tanya said if your kids want something in the store and you can't or don't want to buy it for them, just offer to take a picture of it so they remember it for later. And she said it saved her from a lot of tantrums.
That would kind of suck though if my parents said, well, you can't have the toy, but here's a picture, enjoy. If you Teresa says, buy your kids Lego sets. Then when they're teens and they're superb at assembling all that, they'll be superb at assembling stuff like your IKEA furniture and stuff like that.
That was funny. I like that. Rick said if you get something that comes with a unique charger or power cable, label it for what it's for. That seems like a smart idea for a life hack because I have a whole bunch of cords. I don't know what the hell they're for.
What about Brooke, who said cut their toenails while in the high chair? Is cutting toenails on kids a big deal?
Yeah, it can be tough, but that's smart because their toes are hanging out. They're probably eating something and a little more distracted. So that's good. I like that.
And then Mark, and I kind of do this in life in general. It's a little bit different. Mark says, turn everything into a race with your kids. I like sort of turning things into games. Like, yeah, I suppose a race is a good idea. Okay, we gotta do all these chores. Let's see who can get the most things done fastest.
What did Thomas say? You put this in here. I missed this one.
Yeah, Thomas is like, when the kids were little and we were on a family vacation, they would book, there's two kids and Thomas and his wife. They would book 3 seats on one side of the plane and one right across the aisle. And apparently Thomas would always offer to sit in the middle seat between the kids. Their feet barely touched the floor, so I could put my bag by one kid's feet, stretch the old legs out, right? And also get both arm rests. That's a hack. But then he adds here, my wife across the aisle was always stuck next to some big linebacker or something.
Oh,
Well,
geez.
Thomas, you should offer to switch with your wife, man.
Mary said, Mary had 2 hacks. Number 1 was when you paint a room, remove the light switch plate, which you would do anyway, right? To paint the room typically. On the inside of that plate, write down the color of paint you used and the brand. And then when you repaint, like if you have to touch up, you know the paint color. It's right there.
That's a really good idea.
Her other hack was after you wash and dry a set of sheets, put the top sheet, bottom sheet, and pillowcase into the other pillowcase. Then all of it's all together, and that's how you store it. Then when you grab the pillowcase, it has the whole. I like that a lot.
Mary's got some good ones there. And Diane, we'll do one more here. Diane says, always write down momentarily good ideas. Don't lean on your memory. That now happens to me every day. It's
Amen,
like, what was that thing we were
sister.
talking about last night? There you go.
All right.
Good hacks, and you can still offer some if you have some ones we haven't mentioned, or even if we have, feel free to go ahead and write them down.
Curt, I'm gonna probably gag when you talk about this. Let's run through these foods. So they rated the worst. It was actually a list of the worst 100 rated foods in the world, and we've narrowed it down to a few really great ones here.
And this is from the site tasteatlas.com. They ranked, this is based on 390,000. 390,000. You're already hiding your face, Jen.
It's so gross.
390,000 online reviews from tourists. And a lot of these are from countries outside of the US. So, you know, a different taste, different places. I understand that still. I suppose if you grew up in Sweden or Finland and they fed you blood pancakes from an early age, you would probably think they were delicious. Pancakes made with onions, spices, and reindeer blood.
Actual blood. They're popular in Sweden and Finland.
Yes.
But the average rating from tourists is 1.6 stars out of 5, so not so good.
Maybe if you didn't know it was reindeer blood and they just said, here, try this, that might make a difference. But it is reindeer blood. This thing is called. I don't know
what's wrong. This one is not terrible, I don't think. Calsgrove?
Calskrove. Calsgrove. This again is from the Norwegians, Sweden. A calzone stuffed with French fries and full hamburgers, including the bun. That sounds like, that doesn't sound bad.
No, that one doesn't sound bad. But some of these other ones do, like Svede.
That is half of a sheep's head, which is
boiled and served with mashed potatoes in Iceland.
That's a traditional dish. But I suppose it's better than a whole sheep's head, right?
Then there's deep fried silkworms seasoned with salt and pepper. They're popular in Thailand. And then don't forget about the jellied eels. They're an old school street food in England dating back to the 1700s.
I don't want them jellied or deep fried. Silkworms and eels are not going to be on my, I think that's bad for my palate. I don't know for sure. How about there's an American food, quote unquote, American food in the top 10. That's the ramen burger. A chef in Brooklyn came up with this. The buns are made of fried ramen noodles. That doesn't sound bad either.
That's not terrible.
It doesn't have reindeer blood in it.
Sour curry made with fish entrails, so internal organs. That's in southern Thailand. I don't want to try that.
I don't want to try. Yeah, just again, maybe you don't know what it is, but you're like, hey, what do you want? Do you want to have some salt on your entrails? It's like, no, I'm going to pass on the entrails altogether.
But then they talk about this in the top 25 is frog eye salad. It's served in Utah. It's at number 22. It's a pasta salad made with custard, Cool Whip, and canned fruit. Oh, not actual frog eyes. Okay.
You thought there was going to be, okay. 4 more American dishes made the top 100. Tuna casserole, number 73. Do you like tuna casserole?
I didn't mind it. I don't mind it.
Well, this seems so mild compared to some of the other ones. Also from the Americans, chocolate covered bacon at number 76. Then they have chicken a la king, number 82, and chicken wriggles, which is a pasta dish with roots, popular evidently in upstate New York. That's number 86. So if you want to try any of these, or go up to Canada so you can have boiled fiddleheads.
But that's the only, I don't know what that is, but that's the only Canadian dish on the list, and no Mexican food made the cut. Nothing Mexican made the top 100 worst food list.
They did list the fact that Mexico has eyeball tacos, maybe with real eyeballs. I don't know. We got tricked last time.
I have a feeling maybe.
Frog eyes. Okay. How many of those are you interested in trying, you adventurous foodie?
Not a lot.
0. All right.
We need to like, maybe we should move on to
I agree.
Be creative. This is just a quick little thing. To boost your kids' self-esteem, experts are saying encourage your kids to be creative. A poll of kids aged 6 to 12 found that encouraging them to be creative can boost their self-esteem. 65% said they're happy and excited to participate in creative activities like art and music. And 3 and 5 said it also gives them a sense of pride. But one number was even higher. 92% feel more confident after completing a creative task. So,
there you go.
I mean, they always say that, use your creativity. I mean, there's benefits to that for sure. So there you go.
I like that. Creativity is great.
Me too.
And
a lot.
92% of people say, yeah, that's the thing to do, I suppose. All right. One more thing real quick, because I'm excited about this. Tina Turner, who had passed away a little while back, they found some previously unreleased songs from her past, and one of them is called Hot For You Baby. You're thinking, oh, I don't know what that sounds like. Well, you can now see and hear, rather, some of these unheard songs from her 1984 Private Dancer album. One of the tracks, it's due to, and that's actually out today. All right. That's why I wanted to bring this up. That new 40th anniversary edition of Private Dancer is being released today. And one of the songs on that, I'll play a little bit of this and see what you think, Jen. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
This is called Hot For You Baby, the Tina Turner. All right, here we go.
Tina.
What's that?
I said it's Tina for sure.
It is Tina for sure. I wonder if that would have been popular if they released it at the time.
So how do they find these, Curt? Like, what happens? Like, I mean, someone had to have known about them, and you know, they said, "Oh, I'm going to wait for the 40th anniversary, and then I'm going to tell people about it."
Well, I wonder if it didn't quite make the cut for the album originally, or maybe they already had enough songs. Like, we can't put any more songs in this album, or they thought, whatever. But apparently, there are there are a few other new songs on this. Again, the 40th anniversary edition of Tina Turner's Private Dancer out today. So you can also get What's Love Got to Do with It, Better Be Good to Me, Private Dancer, all that stuff is there for you.
Okay, plus these new tracks. Okay, so that leads us to the question of the day, the podcast question of the day, which is right up Curt's alley because he loves music so much.
Yeah. Hopefully you got an answer for this one. So we just talked about the Tina Turner and the new song on that album. Is there an album that you'd like to see re-released with extra songs on it? I mean, this might be another reason for people to say, this is my favorite album. Regardless, you're like, you know what? I love this so much. I can't get enough of it. Why is there not more songs on this album? Would you like to see an album re-released with extra songs on it?
The one that comes to my mind, like from the top without giving it a whole lot of thought, is Michael Jackson's Thriller album.
I knew you were going to say that. For some reason, I knew you were going to go to Thriller. That was weird. Yeah. So give that some thought, and that'll be our question of the day. So you can see it on all these different, Facebook and everywhere else, all the different, I can't think of the word for it. Why am I blanking on the word?
The word
platforms.
Yeah, we'll have it on Facebook.
Yes.
Excuse me, Curt and Jen in the Morning Facebook page.
Re-released with some extra songs on it. Cool.
Okay, Curt, that wraps up today.
It does wrap up today.
It was fun having Pat on the last couple of days, but it's really good to have you back. So I'm glad you're back. Thank you for taking time while you're in Florida to do the podcast. We appreciate it so much.
Let me say thanks again to Pat, because he does a fine job. In addition to the two of you being so cute together. Oh, they're so cute.
All right. Have a great Thursday. Make good choices. Find joy. Spread kindness. And laugh.
Laugh, please.